Hello and welcome, it's Chris from Christopher Hall Training and welcome to this week's tutorial where we're going to look at 6 beginner exercises that you can start using with a gym ball. Now, they are great bits of kit. Sometimes people don't use them correctly, sometimes people use wrong exercises, or some people just use ineffective exercises. But what we're going to do is look at 6 exercises that follow on from each other, so they progress as you go through them as well. So what it's doing is it's not throwing you in at the deep end, it's starting you at a sensible level, and then you can build core strength and stability as you work through them. One of the areas that people get wrong is they start in a, let's just say, a full plank position. So what we're going to focus on is starting down on the knees. That's going to help build this core stability and core strength, and it's going to allow us to identify the muscles that are working. Again, what a lot of people do is they go into these types of positions and then they find themselves doing that, or they find themselves doing this, and they're not using the stability ball as effectively as they could. So what we're going to focus on is trying to make sure we've got the muscles working that we want working, and then we can start progressing the exercise to make it harder to challenge these muscles, but we're still in control of the exercise. So what happens is we go arms parallel. So if you see here, arms parallel and almost on the top of the ball. So the forearms are on top of the ball, but the elbows are just behind center. So if I come back in this position, elbows are just behind center, forearms are on top of the ball. Now what I'm doing is I can then take my knees back. I've then got a much flatter area, or much flatter line through knees, hips and shoulders. I'm keeping my head in line, and this is just challenging the torso to work. But what I'm focusing on here is, are my abdominals working? Can I feel them working? Yes, I can. And then, is it going into my back? No, it's not. The other important thing is to keep the elbows away from the body, because it's that bit that's really going to make these abdominals start to be challenged and then start to work. Exercise 2 is a step on from that. So we're going to go into the same position down on the knees, same position with the arms. And what we're then going to do is we're then going to go from this position, so we're keeping our elbows away from the body, and then we're going to push the arms away like so. Again, that's going to challenge, then we're going to bring back. That's going to challenge a little bit more, then we're going to bring back. Challenge a little bit more, and bring back. So all the time we're using that exercise to then challenge the abdominals that much more, but the main thing is to think, am I in control of what I'm doing? Are my hips sagging? Am I up too far? So I'm always managing that position. If you have, like we have here, we have mirrors, we can then come to side here and we can see, is my position of my back changing? Am I rounding? Am I arching? Are my arms too far away? Are they too close? I can see all of that in the mirror just to my right here. So exercise number 2 is then starting to add a little bit of flexion at the shoulder and moving it back and forth to challenge my abdominals that bit more. Exercise 3 is another step on from that. So same position, we're going down onto the knees, we're going into that plank position. What we're then going to do, instead of moving forward and back, we're now going to move in circles. So again, same position, knees on the floor, forearms on top of the ball. What we then do is we would then go into a position and then we would come down and we're basically drawing a circle on the floor all the way around. So what we're doing with this one is we're now shifting the tension from top to bottom, right to left. So all the way through, we're thinking about, again, is my torso working? So what we've done here is we've not just gone straight into this exercise because we think it's a good exercise. We've taught our abdominals to stay strong, and then we've progressed it, and then we've progressed it again. So all the time through, we are in control of the muscles that are working, we're not over fatiguing them, and we are basically developing the torso to become better. What a lot of people do is they fatigue it far too much, they go into poor positions, and then that causes problems in the lower back, possibly problems in the shoulder, and problems in the hip. Exercises 4, 5, and 6 is a replication of the first 3, but we're now coming up onto the feet. So you can use those first exercises, those first 3, to build up to a better torso. What we would then do is then come up onto our feet. So same positions, except we're on our feet this time. So we still want straight line through knees, hips and shoulders, keeping the head in line. We still want the forearms on top of the ball. So what we're doing, into this position. Now what is a good idea when we first go from it is to start on the knees, one leg, two leg. So all we've done there is we've gone from that kneeling position so we can get into a good position, and then we put one leg out, and then we put the other leg out. So we hold there. Again, same principles apply. We want elbows away from the body, and we want to be holding nice and strong, again, focusing on the breathing. And finally, as I've mentioned all the way through, being in control of the torso. Exercise 5, same again. Shoulder, flexion, and extension. So we come into the position, we do exactly the same. Come down onto the knees. And then we go from this position, 1 foot, 2 foot. Then from here, elbows go away from the body, elbows come towards. Away, towards. So again, we're keeping that smooth movement. We're keeping the elbows away from the body. We're holding the hips up, which is causing us to use our torso. We just then need to focus on, are we in control of the movement? Finally, we go on to exercise number 6, which is the movement in a circular motion. Now again, this is a little bit harder. One thing I would advise is slightly wider stance with the feet. Reason for that, just gives you a little bit more stability. So we come down on both knees, 1 foot wide, 2nd foot wide. Again, elbows away from the body, and making circles in one direction, pause, circles in the other direction. So these are very simple exercises to do, and in some respects they aren't the fantastic exercises that you see across social media that everyone gets excited about. This is just about building a solid core strength. What that gives you, and what that gives you the ability to do, is everything else. So if we can build a good foundation here by just doing very simple exercises, these are going to help you progress over a period of months. So this is the type of thing that you want to be using to think, right, this is going to be my test and my measure. Am I getting better at this? So all the other exercises that you might be doing, is it helping improve this one? Because when we can improve this one, if we can keep it all in the torso and away from the lower back, we're going to be building the core that we want to be building. Many thanks for watching. My name is Chris from Christopher Holt Training. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's given you an idea of types of exercises that you can do with this gym ball. It's a very simple one, I know, but it gives you the ability to progress over time, so you're not constantly changing the exercises, and it gives your body an opportunity to adapt to that challenge. Because we're not just going from one exercise to another randomly, we're actually using that exercise as the test, as the measure, to be able to see, is my core getting stronger? Can I move on to the next exercise? So do take your time with it. Your body will thank you for it. Just make sure you're always in control of the exercise and you're holding the torso in tight and strong.